that mess is going to start to pop up here and there in places where we don't really expect it to, but it's just going to show up anyways. High-risk professionals rarely fall apart suddenly. The first signs are quiet, internal, and easy to rationalize because the job trains you to push through them. In this video, I'm going to explain what early unraveling actually looks like, why partners notice it first, and how identity, trauma, and decisional fatigue create the earliest signals people miss. I'm Dr. Greg, and in this video, we're going to talk all about how high-risk professionals may not really understand how previous trauma impacts their ability to work and function in their daily lives. Let's start with the pattern that shows up long before burnout, because if you miss this part, every other symptom makes less sense than it should. When we think about stress, this is how I define it: when demands outweigh resources. So if you feel like you don't have enough resources, well, of course, you're going to start to feel stressed, all the way back to childhood. Because the reality is we're not just either completely made up of our environment or completely made up of our genetics. We're a mix of both. Some people just feel emotions and stress a little bit more strongly than others. Doesn't make it good or bad, it just makes it what it is. Some people go through environments where it's very supportive, they can manage their stress, and others, they're trained to sweep it under the rug and not pay attention to it whatsoever. So now imagine if I'm one of those people who feels stress a little bit more intensely than others, and then I'm not really taught how to regulate my emotions when stress gets high. It is a recipe for disaster. What are some of the signs that a high-performing individual is displaying at home that shows, hey, maybe they're starting to unravel a little bit? Well, first off, it's going to be trouble with boundaries. When they come home, they're probably not going to be super engaged with everything that's going on there. It might start as just a little, oh, well, I got to check my email, or, oh, well, I got to take care of this. And then all of a sudden, it becomes they're coming home and they're not even really seeing their family at all. They're just continuing to work. How many careers or professionals do you know of where it seems like they're working 60, 70, 80-hour weeks? There's no balance there. And in fact, the reason that some of those people might be doing that is because there is a fear instilled in them through potentially trauma and through how they've been taught to manage stress, which is you just push through it. You just shove down all those concerns into that box, and then you bury it in the deepest, darkest hole you can find in your backyard and never speak of it again. It works for a little bit until it doesn't. Another sign that they might be unraveling is they just don't really want to be around people. They start to isolate. And that might start off as, well, I just need a little bit of time alone. Hey, listen, we all need a little bit of time alone. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just when that time alone starts to become habitual and serving the purpose of, I want to stay away from people because I don't feel safe around them. I don't feel like they can understand me. I just feel like people are more hassle than they're worth. Now we might be looking at some kind of unraveling happening. And I would argue we are looking at some kind of unraveling happening.
What?
Avoidance, suppression of those emotions, it's totally normal and natural. Because who wants to think about or deal with that tough stuff, especially in a day and age where it seems like you just go through social media and everyone's spewing their emotions and everything online. It's unattractive. I look at that and I go, you need to just go to therapy and talk about it there.
Do it! Just do it!
It doesn't work because at the end of the day, we're not dealing with the issue. Think about that classic example of if I have a mess and I just sweep it under the rug. Well, it doesn't make the mess go away. It just stays there. And in fact, when it comes to our mental health, that mess is going to start to pop up here and there in places where we don't really expect it to, but it's just going to show up anyways. And I know you might be listening and saying, well, listen, I can keep it under control.
Stop it. Get some help.
I know that this stuff isn't going to come out because I put it in that box. Well, let me kind of give you an example to show you how it doesn't work. Whatever you do in the next 5 seconds, I don't want you to think about a pink elephant. Don't picture it in your head. Don't imagine what that elephant might be doing. And I guarantee you that almost all of you, if not all of you, thought about a pink elephant. And that's how avoidance doesn't really work. We can say, I don't want to think about the thing, yet in saying that, what are we thinking about? So how do I know that I need help? Well, if you are displaying any of the behaviors that I mentioned in this video, as well as if you have reports from family, friends, you're being more distant. Hey, you're not really as fun as you used to be. Maybe you're starting to rely on some of those avoidance skills a little bit more regularly. I mean, classic example is any kind of substance. Hey, I enjoy a nice glass of wine here and there. If I'm starting to drink a bottle, every day, might be time to find some kind of help. If I'm noticing that I'm burned out a lot of times, if I'm noticing that I'm numb, if I'm noticing that I can't get to sleep because my mind is constantly racing about work or safety, probably a sign that it's time to get some help. And that's, in fact, what I think therapy can be best used for. It's those times. That's the time to go to someone who knows what they're talking about and who can give you the best possible care that you deserve. like me. And this is why I got into the profession that I'm in. I love psychology and I love helping people. In fact, my specialties: mood, so depression, anxiety; executive stress, those at the highest levels trying to function at their best; and trauma, those events that stick with us that we just cannot let go of. I've had extensive training in these areas, and it is so rewarding to see people finally overcome that avoidance, that isolation, that burnout that they're experiencing, and that they can, in fact, reclaim their lives. That's something that I wish for you. And of course, if you're looking to go to the next level, I can help you with that.